Apprehensions on the southern border hit over 144,000 in May as Trump readies a 5% tariff on Mexico that will rise to 25% in October. Hello, this is Robert Romano, Vice President of Public Policy with Americans for Limited Government. And today we're going to be talking about the southern border, Mexico, and President Donald Trump is going to hit Mexican goods with a 5% tariff that begins on June 10. That's going to rise to 10% on July 1 and up to 25% by October. And President Trump says unless you get illegal immigration, this migrant caravan under control going through Mexico, he's going to hit Mexico with these tariffs. And it's hard to blame him. The amount of people who are coming through Mexico is accelerating. It topped the amount of apprehensions on the southern border. It was at 103,000 in March. It was at 109,000 in April, and now it's up to 144,000 in May. And that's data from Customs and Border Patrol. This is how many people they're capturing on the southern border. Last month alone, over 84,000 were family units and over 11,000 were unaccompanied children. So that's pretty much the large majority there are families that are coming. And so why is that? Well, if you look at the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, they have a report about erratic weather conditions, big drought, in particular in El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. Where people are losing their crops due to rainfall and drought. 1.4 million need food assistance. This is according to the United Nations. And a quote from that report states, quote, Central American governments estimated 2.2 million people have suffered crop losses, mainly due to drought. More than 25% of the households surveyed do not have enough income to cover their basic food needs, and 8% of the families reported that they plan to migrate in response to the crisis. So you have a humanitarian crisis in Central America. There's a big drought, and that's why you're seeing this surge right now in terms of migration, and it seems to be what the migrant caravan is all about. People are they're gonna starve, I guess, if they can't grow any crops. Then you have a situation now with Trump doing the tariffs and threatening to do the tariffs. Now Mexico wants to appear to be stepping up its operations. So you had a report on June 5th that Mexican officials intercepted about 1,000 migrants on the highway. And so why are they doing that? Why are they stopping them? Well, I guess there's 144,000, so it's not like they stopped 10,000. They dropped less than 1% of the amount of people who are coming. But according to the AP report, quote, the migrants say they aim to reach the U.S. border where they plan to request asylum. So apparently they've grown wise to the types of laws that we have. If you go to the 1997 Flores decision, it allows illegal aliens with minor. You have to release them. The illegal aliens with minors after 20 days. That's the Flores decision. When you combine it with the 2008 Trafficking Victims Protection Reauthorization Act, that makes it illegal to send unaccompanied minors from Central America back to their home countries. And so what does that mean? It's that the people who are coming have grown wise to what these loopholes are. They know about the Flores decision. They know about the 2008 human trafficking bill that was supposed to protect people, but it's actually created an incentive to now take people here because of the asylum requests. So you have a combination of drought and people unable to do farming, and these incentives for people to skirt our law and request asylum. Now, when Trump announced his tariff, Senate Republicans completely freaked out. They don't like tariffs. They think every tariff is Smoot-Hawley. They don't have much perspective there. But in terms of an economic sanction on Mexico to try to get a handle on the migrant caravan, I think it's probably a good idea to use the tariff. And the tariffs are not real popular in the Republican conference. Senator Ron Johnson, Republican of Wisconsin, says. And so Republicans they're reticent to do anything about this, but fortunately, Kevin McCarthy on the House Republican side has President Trump's back on the tariffs. He says, end of the day, quote, we should support the president so we can get an agreement so we don't have tariffs. Them talking about not supporting him, that's Senate Republicans, undercuts his ability to do that. What I think, quote, is we should empower the president to be able to have a strong hand in the negotiations. And McCarthy adds, quote, you don't hear anybody in Mexico undercutting there at the same time. We should be united so there won't be tariffs and have a strong hand in negotiation. And President Trump, he tweeted out a quote from McCarthy saying, House Republicans support the president on tariffs with Mexico all the way, and that makes any measure the president takes on the border totally veto-proof. Why wouldn't you, as Republicans, support him when that will allow our president to make a better deal? So there you go. House Republicans are going to stand with President Trump. They're going to, and so if this comes up in a vote, if Congress tries to overturn it, House Republicans are going to stop it. Even if the bill passes, Trump will veto it, and then the Republicans in the House will help to sustain that veto. So President Trump's going to be able to deal with Mexico with the tariffs. Again, that's going to rise to 25% by October if they don't get a handle on this. And they got to do something. I mean, the Congress, frankly, is not providing enough support. There's not enough resources. You only have about 52,000 beds. If you go back to the 2018 authorization bill, Congress had only provided 40,500 beds. But by moving things around, that President Trump has authority within these bills to do, he could get that number up to 49,000. In the most recent spending bill, you had Congress provided 45,000 beds, which Trump can ratchet up to 52,000. But there's more than 144,000 people showing up last month alone, so they don't have enough beds to process these people, or even to house them. So you're going to have mandatory catch and release. Trump had requested $4.5 billion supplemental from Congress, but they haven't acted on it yet. They could have included it in the disaster bill, but they didn't. The $4.5 billion supplemental would include $3.3 billion for humanitarian assistance, including more beds, which we need. So what about other things? Well, when you look at the wall situation, President Trump wants to build a wall. You are going to have 450 miles of new wall, according to the Army Corps of Engineers, by the end of 2020. But as fast as that's going up, it's not enough to halt the current wave that you're seeing, obviously. And the other problem we have is we don't really have enough immigration judges. There's only about 415 immigration judges, that's according to the Justice Department. And 415, well, I mean, maybe that sounds like a lot, but in reality, if every single one of these people showing up got a court case, 144,000, you would have to, each judge would have to hear 350 cases a month. And if they worked Monday through Friday, that would mean about 17 or so a day cases. But according to the Washington Post's Maria Sacchetti, quote, judges already complete 678 cases in an average year, and some clear more than 1,000. But if you're talking about 350 cases a month, well, you'd have to do more than 3,000, and that's not enough. I mean, you need more judges. And back when this report was written, they only had 395. So I guess they've increased it a little bit. They're up to 415, but 415 judges is not enough. And so when you put it all together, what do you need? We need more beds. We need more judges. We need more barriers on the border. President Trump's doing everything he can there, but you need more. It's just the way it is. And we need a Congress willing to get serious about this. And oh, by the way, we need a reliable partner in Mexico to halt the immigration that's coming across their border. Right now, all of these things are in pretty much short supply. And if it weren't for President Trump's determination, we wouldn't even stand a chance of getting a handle on it. That's the commentary. This is Robert Romano, Vice President of Public Policy with Americans for Limited Government, dailytorch.com. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and have a great day.